Welcome back to our second episode of Speak Your Mind podcast. So we got a lot of things to say today, all kinds of stuff about society. I'll hand that over to DJ, but I'm the S man.
Alright, so this is DJ. Let's break it down today, y'all. We got E-Man too.
E-Man.
Today, like I want to talk about society. Like, what do you guys like about it? Do you feel that it's in a good place or in a bad place right now?
It's in a bad place.
Why is that?
Because we got Joe Biden running this motherfucker.
So you think it was better when Trump had it?
Yeah. Towards the end, it was much better.
Now, man, if you want to talk like political, I think literally no matter who's the president or the leader or whatever, like first off, I think they're kind of like a figurehead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least to an extent, like they still get like some kind of decisions.
Yeah.
Especially like Trump, like he was kind of more radical. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't seem like someone that would listen to somebody else.
That's how I feel about him too.
Yeah.
I think that's why he kind of was a little bit of a better president than a lot of people try to paint him. Like at first, like I wasn't fucking with Trump at first.
Yeah, like I think he's not good, but he's the most individualistic, I'd say,
Mm-hmm.
out of them for sure. Cause at least like even though he's like an asshole and shit, he at least spoke his mind,
Yeah,
which
I
is
think-
more than I
think
could say
that's
for
why,
most
like,
presidents.
EA fucked with him too, because it's like they kind of got that similar.
Yeah,
Like
they
the
just speak for
ego.
Yep.
themselves.
Yeah.
They're about what they talk about. It might not always be good, but they're about what they
I
talk
think
about.
that's why Kodak started fucking with, like, obviously because he got him out too, but I think Kodak is kind of like that too, where he speaks like a lot, just like he doesn't care what anybody else thinks. He's gonna say what he thinks.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's where like all the pros for him kind of stop right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like he had us socially, like he was separating us to like
Bad,
people-
like the social media, like that was bad.
Yeah, I mean, like he had like business wise, the country's doing good, but I think if we would have gone more, we would have like our country would have imploded from the inside out.
Absolutely.
Due to like a civil war or something.
I think so too.
I mean, he made it just like awkward just to hang out with just friends or just to just see coworkers or other people. Like
Yeah, that's true.
like it was like, are you a
If
Trumper?
you
Are you
support
not?
it or
Are you
not.
black,
It was-
white,
that
man,
shit
women?
was a weird
Like
time.
it was
was.
making times just really like it was strenuous for just everyone.
I'm
in
not gonna
general.
lie. I don't know if I was with y'all, but there was this one time. I think I was with Meriden or some shit like that, bro. And this was like when Trump was like, everybody was like, "Fuck Trump, bro." There was some Trump supporter that
Yeah.
pulled up, bro. We were just
Mhm.
mean mugging the fuck out of him, bro.
Man.
I said some shit, bro, and he was like, "What did you say?" And I don't remember, but Meriden just pulled off. I was like, "Fuck Donald Trump," or something like that. And he just pulled off.
My God, it is fuck Trump though. It is. But like yeah, like you guys said, I agree. I think he's the most individualistic, but that's also a bad thing because he kind of like I feel like he kind of forgets he was president. He forgets the power he held. So it's like he just say whatever as if it's like not a big deal, as if it's just another person's opinion, but it's not as simple as that. Like a lot of people hold his opinion to high regard, which I think was wrong to begin with. You shouldn't like hold somebody that dumb to high regard like that, but
Yeah.
but he's smart enough to know that his whatever he says is the big deal. It's not something that's just gonna fly by and it doesn't matter. No matter what he says, there's gonna be some kind of drama from it, some kind of response to it, and it's usually like that with presidents anyways. But it's more so like that with him. And yeah, like that's a good thing. It's a good thing that like he was individualistic, but it in the way he was horrible, and like he just was like I think like he wasn't a good president, but he could have been. Like I feel like he could have been a good president just because he
Yeah.
didn't listen to
he,
like
he
others.
spoke his mind, but
Yeah.
he didn't say the right stuff. That
Yeah.
actually is like
We don't want to hear
we
that
don't
shit.
need that.
Yeah.
Like, our country didn't need that.
Yeah, it's just because it's like like my family's like a little bit like that too. Especially like my grandpa, he's similar to that too, kind of like where he's like he don't fuck with certain types of people, but
Mhm.
he my grandpa would admit that shit. I ain't gonna lie, he little racist, but like Trump, like he won't admit he's racist, but like he clearly is. At least like he's at least on the edge of like where you're really racist or like you're just kind of racist, but he's for sure there though.
Yeah.
But he won't ever like admit it though.
Mm.
So I think like that's also like like it's just everything he said was some kind of like segregating between race, which is and like everybody's like was joking about race war and shit at the time, but it was looking like that shit might really happen.
Like, it was, yeah. It was just like everything. It was like whether you're man, woman, black, white, gay,
Yup.
transgender.
That shit, it damn
religion.
near was happening. For
Like it was just
It
it was
was.
separating everyone
it
to
was
like
on and off.
you couldn't trust anyone almost.
Mhm.
1 month it's the trans.
And then it even made it upon like each other. Like if you were black and you were like for Trump, it was like
yeah,
Like,
so
you're
what is
weird.
that? Like even with whites and
Like
it
I know,
just-
like I'm not gonna say his name, but we know him. He went to our high school. I think his parents were like Trump supporters. He was like dark skinned.
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know who.
I don't want to say his name.
Yeah, it just
Fuck, I don't know.
He played basketball. DJ knows.
He was on the team.
Yeah,
Okay,
he got injured.
and he's black.
Yeah, really dark skinned.
Wait, is the ones with the is it like Roche's cousins?
Mm-hmm.
Was it the
I don't know.
like you know the ones that we be seeing at 24?
Mhm.
It's not them.
I don't even know. who
Oh,
it
you
is,
don't even
honestly.
know.
Probably not.
But it's not important to be
Oh
honest.
yeah,
Like,
okay, yeah. It's not. Just curious.
So okay, well, like what do you guys feel like that is worse about the Biden era?
First of all, he's not fit to be the president. Like, this man has dementia, bro. Why do we have, like, why is that
He is
even,
old as fuck.
why is that even, like, a possibility for us to, like, I don't understand that, too. Like, why our president gotta be hella old as fuck?
Yeah.
Like, why can't we have a younger president? Like, somebody
There's
at
an
least, like,
age.
in their,
Yeah.
Required.
like, 30s, like, early 30s or something like that, or, like, maybe mid-30s. Like,
No, there's an age requirement, which is crazy.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Which is
weird.
crazy. Like there should be one, but not. I forgot what it is, but it shouldn't be as high as it
Like,
is.
we should have somebody who's, like,
Like
on
around,
this generation's
yeah.
mindset. Like, we
Like,
don't
To
have
speak for us.
Yeah.
like not to get into like Obama and all that, but like around his age and like his like kind of like thought process where he's. I feel like he was like you know we were all kind of kids when he was president, so I can't say I know too much really, but
yeah.
but like he didn't seem like he was like he didn't seem hella old or hella young. He seemed like in the middle, like he was like trying to be like fit both sides.
Yeah.
Which like one thing like I don't like I said we were kids, so I don't like know every little thing, but like one thing I did like about him being president is that it didn't feel like weird him being president. It didn't feel out of place.
That's why he
Yeah.
got voted for the 2 terms.
Yeah. Another yeah, I like what you said about Joe Biden because like I do believe that. Like at first it was funny, but I actually believe he had dementia. And
yeah.
and I go back to my last point, my other point with Trump is that like they're like polar opposites. Cause Biden, I feel like you can't control him because he just like he don't even remember what he.
Oh yeah, he don't even know where he's at.
Yeah.
What he's doing.
So it's just super easy to control him and shit.
That's like, I don't even know why he wants this position in the first place.
What?
Like, I feel like it's fucking with his brain.
They just did it because it's just you just went from a guy that was uncontrollable, so it's like you got to go polar opposite.
Yeah.
And it was even from Obama. It's like Trump's the complete opposite of Obama.
Mhm.
So it's just
Yeah.
like you just got to keep flipping it.
But do y'all remember when Trump was first elected for the first term, and then like after Obama was like hella not trying to get him, and like it was all over the media and
Yeah.
shit, and he wasn't
Mhm.
fucking with him, and then they had like shake hands and shit. That shit was hella awkward. I
Yeah.
remember seeing
Yeah.
that.
Bro, I remember when Trump got elected and he got it, like, some came out where he was like, he didn't even want to be the president, bro. Like, some came out where he literally said that shit. I was like, bro, what?
Because I don't think anyone was expecting him to win.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he expected himself.
Like,
to
yeah, it
win
was
at
just-
first.
He was just doing it just to do it,
Yeah.
and then
But
he just got set up with Hillary,
but that's like an easy
and people just hate
W. 'cause
Hillary more than they hate Trump.
Yeah.
that was an easy W
People
because
love Trump though. Like, a lot of people love Trump.
they do,
Yeah,
but
that's-
a lot of people also hate Hillary.
Yeah.
And I'm on that side. She's
a lot of
on some
people
scammy
hate Trump,
shit.
But I feel like there was just like so many Trump supporters
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
who don't
Yeah,
like
that's-
Hillary. Like,
That's what I mean. I don't think there were a lot of like actual Hillary supporters. It was just more people who hated Trump. But Trump had both sides. People who
Yeah.
hated Hillary and then
That's
the people
what
who
I'm
loved him.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But it's just like, the problem isn't that she's a woman, because a woman can totally be president.
Mhm.
Not like, obviously, like, not
Need
to make
somebody,
myself
like,
sound
smart.
feminist, like, type shit. But like, yeah, anybody can be president.
and
There's,
she's definitely like the furthest
She's-
thing
yeah,
from
she's
related
just-
to this generation. Like the furthest thing.
and the only reason people
Yeah.
were voting for her Like I feel like at
She
least
was a woman.
because she was a
Yeah.
woman, and not because she was the right fit.
And that
And
was
I'm not
like-
saying Trump is the
yeah.
right fit either. He wasn't either, in my opinion. Like I still don't know too much about politics, but I still think it was Bernie Sanders. Out of
Bernie
all of them.
Sanders should
Out of
be
all of them,
president,
at least.
Bro, I remember that.
Yeah.
shit.
Bro, he just trying to make everything like free. and
Yeah,
shit,
so
bro.
it would like
Just-
bring
It's
all the
bro,
prices
how
up.
could you not
but
fuck
still.
with that dude?
Like,
though,
yeah,
bro?
you
It's
do. It's just like, bro, where are you getting this money from, Bernie? Like,
fucking Bernie, bro.
he was so
Make
old.
them
He was
print
just
more of that shit, bro.
He was old. He was trying to write his shit up before he
Print
died.
that shit, print that shit, bro. Bernie, we don't have
Free
enough
this, free
funds.
that.
Motherfucker, there's enough wood fucking
Hell
trees
yeah.
to cut, bro.
Cut them bitches down.
Print that shit.
Man. But that's like I feel like
on the bill.
yeah.
No, it would fuck shit up though.
He was the only one that wasn't
It's
like,
anything,
controversial though.
anything anybody tries to fix, it's like another problem comes with it when you try to fix
Just,
it.
yeah, because
Yeah.
bro, it's so polar. Like
Yeah.
the SARS is way too left and way too right. And I don't even really feel like the average person is really like that. Like we're way
They're
closer to
really
the
not.
middle.
Yeah.
It's
But
like
it's-
we were all.
It's just you go closer to one side. That's
It's like
all.
it's like you gotta pick one side or the other. Like you set it up like that. And like they both have their goods, but they both have like way too many extremes.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like that's why I hate that shit. I try to stay out of it.
It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like that's why I barely even know politics like that. But it's like
just
nowadays
know how
you
it
kind
works,
of got
though.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
now you kind of gotta know. It. It's like,
Yeah.
you would have asked me that shit in high school as
You
we're
would've cared
learning
to
it.
know
Like,
about it.
Because
Yeah.
we learned about that shit. I'm like, I forget which history
Government?
class. Yeah, government.
Yeah.
Bro, I still don't remember a lick of shit from that, bro.
I bet. Yeah. I barely remember anything. So.
Bro, there was one word I remembered. It was caucuses. Because it was so hella funny, bro. That's the only word I
I
remember.
remember that. I don't remember what it mean though.
So weak when I first heard it. I kept like spamming that word, bro.
I think I remember you actually saying that shit all the time.
Caucuses. That shit had me hella weak.
But what was your original question? Because there's another route that wasn't political. Oh yeah, the way the society heading, right?
Yeah.
So even though it's still a little political, I don't think it's exactly good because I feel like we're becoming like accepting, but like this might sound fucked up, but accepting, but
Too accepting?
too accepting.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
like we can like I'm more than fine with if you could do whatever you want with yourself, but to me, I don't think you should push that on other people or push that on the
That's
future.
a big
Yeah.
Just
problem.
because you think now, don't get me wrong, it's fucked up that people are like might be against you or like even to like a violent extent, and that's fucked up, and there's no excuse for that. But and I'm not even talking about like gay stuff. I'm talking about trans, cause like
Yeah.
like you can live your life. I'm not gonna go at you and be like oh you're a weird motherfucker for being trans, this and that. I don't give a fuck. You can do whatever you want. But what I'd say is don't make other people feel uncomfortable because you were
Yeah.
uncomfortable, like in quotes, uncomfortable in your skin. Like you don't gotta make other people feel uncomfortable or weird that they're not like trans or supporting, super supportive of it. Like just the same way I think they should live their life without any kind of like hate. We should be able to live our life without any kind of hate from you.
Yeah.
And, like the
Exactly.
shame, they try to
Shame,
shame
yeah,
you into
shame.
it.
That
yeah.
a perfect word.
I
That's it.
hate that shit.
And yeah, not everybody's like that too. And then like another thing is a lot of trans people, they won't tell you they're trans. And like, you know, like in today's plastic surgery and
It's
shit,
getting better.
It's getting
like it
really
gets
Yeah.
tricky.
Bro, you go to like I heard you go to Thailand, bro. That shit's
Yeah, that
so
Fool you,
uh-huh.
they will sit out there like they're like prostitutes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Trying to talk to you and shit.
yeah.
And then, but some of them will tell you like, you know what I'm saying? I got
Yeah.
a dick and shit.
They
like
will say that
Some
shit.
of them will like I seen it on camera, but
But
some
that-
of them will try to like not tell you shit.
Yeah, but bro, isn't that so weird? Like, why is it so much over there? And why are they like all
I don't
prostitutes?
know.
Like, that's
I think 'cause
incredibly
there's
like
just
crazy.
a lot of surgery out there, like a lot of like plastic surgery type.
Yeah, but
shit
what are
out
they
there.
doing? They just like picking them off the street and like, let me test on you. Like, that's like I don't
Honestly,
know.
I don't know. Like, what?
Because
is
you gotta
that?
think like almost all their trans people are like at least
It's
that
like,
we
what-
know
what-
of
why
are like,
there so many trans
Yeah.
people over there? That
and
is
then
the
they're like
question.
almost all prostitutes too. At least the ones you hear about, you know.
Or
which is, like,
maybe it's
hecka
because it's just
weird.
like the state of that place,
Economy and shit,
yeah,
maybe.
it's just like that's how they're
Could be poor
figuring out
out
that
there.
they're trying to make money that way.
It
yeah.
could be, but that's crazy though if that's
They
it.
see like what America's doing and shit like that, and maybe they're getting like ideas off of
Yeah.
us and shit. I wouldn't be surprised.
But back to my point though, like, yeah, they won't tell you. And I've heard about this story. I forgot from who, if it was from the internet or what. But I just remember hearing or reading about it. It was something about a trans person was basically explaining why they won't tell people they're trans before meeting up with them, like date wise, hook up, whatever
I
it is.
think I've seen something like that.
Yeah, because
That's
it's
the only issue I have with it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
that's the
dude.
main-
the only
yeah.
issue.
It's like
they're-
that's why on Instagram I'm very cautious. Like I don't
Yeah.
follow
Yeah,
random
yeah.
like females.
Yeah.
And like I usually follow like I've seen them before.
You
like,
gotta
I-
know someone
Yeah,
to like get that
exactly.
like yeah.
But their reason for not telling people, at least this person's reason, I think a whole bunch of people agreed with them too. And I remember a whole bunch of people like being like, "That's fucked up," and like most people were, but some people were agreeing with them too. It's because they said they won't be interested in you if they know you're trans, but they'll be interested in you the way you look if they don't know you're trans.
That's.
I'm like
wrong,
that's
though.
horrible though.
That's wrong because
Yeah.
bro.
That's wrong. That's morally
You should
wrong.
only be going for people who are attracted to people like you.
Yeah.
Like,
And
that's
now,
how I feel.
there's nothing wrong with not being attracted to this type of person or that type of person.
Mhm.
Because,
like, you're just
everybody
not.
has a type,
You
bro.
can't you
Yeah.
can't even
It's
help
like
it.
trans people is not my type.
That's what I'm
not my
saying.
type. Like I'm straight.
You can't like yeah, and then they get insulted by that, saying like I'm
Yeah.
straight. But like, even whether you want to say like you're a woman, man, whatever, and like you flipped around or whatever you might have did, at one point you were that other sex.
Yeah.
So you can't even say that's not on like that's like if you had sex with a trans person, I could call you gay. Like you can't even like that trans person can't even tell me that doesn't make sense because that makes
Yeah,
sense.
It does. To me, that would make sense.
That makes sense. And like I'm not gonna do that shit, but like, and I know you're not gonna do that shit either, but
Nah, because
but like yeah,
it's no point because, like you said, like other people's business, that's other people's business.
Yeah.
Just leave me out of it.
yeah, and that's not something that's like oh it's not your business like what I am like that's crazy. But then it's just right now it's transgender, but I feel like
Yeah.
eventually like it could
It'll
be,
move to something else.
yeah it'll be way worse because like I think like it will eventually be like trans race, trans this, trans that.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's probably gonna take a long time before we get there, like hundreds of years maybe, but maybe a lot sooner, maybe a lot later. But I think like eventually, if society just keeps trending the same way, it will eventually for sure get there, and it won't just be trans race. Like it'll be anything, like
would
Yeah.
any
be
little
so
thing you could think of.
weird.
It'll eventually be like that because it's just like the gay thing. I understand. Like I'm not even like tripping about like when I was younger, I was taught like gay people are bad. Don't be
Yeah.
friends with them. Don't
Like-
be this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, that's some bullshit. Like I got some gay friends. Like they're cool. Like they act normal towards me. If they're not, if they're on some weird shit with me, then I don't fuck with them. But if they're cool with me, they're like just chilling, or like even like the gay friends that I do have, they're not. I don't really see them. But like if I
Mhm.
saw them and shit, they're just cool. Oh, what's up? Type shit. But then it's like some people are like too much. And then I know I told y'all this story, but like when I was at worked at TJ Maxx, and I was like it was like we're about to close soon and stuff. I was just fixing up like the floor, and then this gay person walked in and they were just looking at clothes, and I was like, oh hi, can I help you with anything? And then they like made some kind of joke and I just laughed. You know, it's like customer service, trying to be nice and everything.
Yeah.
And then like he started like getting like a little flirty and shit. I was just like I just kind of like was like ha, 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 like laughed and then just kind of walked away when it was like appropriate without trying to be rude.
Yeah.
And then like he came to my spot again, and then did it again, and then he like I moved again, and then he kind of came over again, and then like before he could like talk to me again, like I moved away like where he couldn't go. But like he was just on like that's way too pushy.
Kinda hitting on you.
Yeah, and I'm like clearly like I'm just trying to be nice, but I'm not messing
But
with
you're
it.
not flirting with him though.
No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm saying. Like I'm like I had to like, cause I don't want to be disrespectful. Cause he really could have just been like, oh he doesn't like know that I'm trying to do that. Like he
Yeah,
could have
like,
maybe
in
been like
his
that.
mind, like-
Yeah, that's why I was trying not to be rude and shit. So I was just trying to be like nicely just get away from him without
Yeah.
like causing any problem. Now if you actually got a question or if you want to talk about some shit
Like,
that's
go
not
ahead,
flirty,
not
then like it's
yeah.
cool. But it was just too pushy, and I was like it just weird
Yeah,
ass
it's like it
feeling.
makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He don't even know it.
Yeah.
So to say that like you don't have a problem with anything gay, it's just
Nah.
when people could perceive you as
Yeah.
gay, that's when it's like
That's
Yeah,
what
it's
it's
like-
But I
I
will
get
say
that.
this, and I think you guys disagree. I think you might be like in the middle. He disagrees more, I think. But to me, like I don't want, like you could say this sound fucked up, but I don't want a society in like 100 years for my kids, my grandkids, where just like every other person's gay just because they feel like they're gay. Like that's
I
bullshit
feel
to
like
me.
that's how it is already
Th-
now.
that's- that's how it's getting, yeah.
The
Like-
same thing with the transgender. Like I feel like people just.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like it's kind of fucked up to say, but I feel like some people do it for the attention. 'Cause
That's-
they're already not
yes,
getting attention.
they
so they're just
do.
trying to fit. And that's why I feel like when people are very extra about their gayness and very loud about it too. Like I don't know. I feel like that's them trying to get the attention.
No, I agree too. I don't know if you guys seen those newer YouTube ads, but there's like gay dude, like he's trans and he calls himself her. Like at least in the commercial he did, I was just watching it. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like go ahead. Like if you're popular, you're popular. But I never heard of this person. So chances are, like I could be totally wrong. I could just be talking out my ass. But chances are, he was mostly famous because he's trans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never heard of this dude. He's like a fashionista looking dude.
Oh,
like he got makeup
it's
on,
like,
drag,
he's like pale.
The drag queen.
drag queen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have seen that commercial.
Yeah.
There's like two of them. That
There's
one
a
and
few.
the,
That's what I'm saying. And
it's
that's
like,
okay.
they're all hella pale too.
And that's okay. But I never thought it makes sense for somebody to be famous for what they identify as. Like, am I famous because I'm a man and I like women? Like,
That's
No.
just where like
That's what I'm
society's like
saying.
they're boosting up like the minority groups right
Yeah.
now. Like,
And-
Which is weird, which is like it's
is,
kind of
like,
patronizing
it's
at
like
the same time.
yeah, but
It's
it's like they're
like-
trying to just get them like some credibility, some
YouTube
voice.
is doing that shit
Hella
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
That's
I
why
mean,
they're.
I'd say everything. Like look at Marvel and
But
all
like,
that stuff.
but it's
They're
because
with
just-
the
YouTube
women
was
and
like,
shit.
Yeah.
YouTube was first. Because you remember the YouTube Rewind? That's what fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Was they were trying to get too much into that.
Bro, because now they have things
And,
like
like-
YouTube. I know. Did you see Corey Kent's video?
Who's that? I don't even know who that is.
Never mind it. But like, bro, they got things like YouTube Black and shit like that. It's like, bro, why do you
Yeah.
even need that shit, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what's the like?
Bro, that
If
sounds
it's
like some
truly
porn,
all
bro.
equal, then everybody would have the same amount of just like push.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird to
Yeah.
me.
No, but bro, that shit sound like some porn, bro. YouTube
Well, it's
Black.
like it's like
That's what I'm saying. That's nasty as fuck.
it's like what are they doing it for?
Yeah.
Are they doing it for
They're for
like the
the-
minorities, for the colored people, for the
No.
women, or are
They're
they doing it for the money?
They're doing it for the money and the
Because
image.
it gets like it looks
Yes.
good and it sells.
Exactly.
But the thing is,
that's why they have that like that fucking June now. Like every company has
Yeah,
a rainbow
Juneteenth
logo and shit
yeah,
like that.
I know
the Gay
damn
Pride
well.
Month.
It's
bro, that's
like-
why my mom.
That's why I fuck with Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
They
bro, that's
stay
what I'm
to their-
saying.
They stick to their shit, bro. Like they don't be like fuck
Yeah.
gay people, but they don't support that shit. Like
Bro,
that's
and
not
there's-
what they do.
They like gay people were outraged from that shit. Like what?
I know.
Like, cause of the beliefs of like the owners of the company, you're gonna like you don't have to eat it. Like they still get money.
Bro, those people were
You know?
like the person who made that shit. Like he was here way before any of this shit was like, you know what I'm saying? All this
Yeah,
I'm
hashtag,
saying.
all that shit. But like he didn't even know what that was, bro. Like he went to church on Sunday, bro. Like that's what his life
Fine.
was.
Yeah, like Mormons, they don't play with that. That's
Yeah.
man. They don't even drink soda or anything.
That's
They
what I'm
definitely
saying.
they're not messing with
Davey.
sexuality.
No, but like there's
David.
there's yeah. But there's like yeah, I do have like my thoughts and opinions about like whether that shit's like godly and stuff. Like if I'm being honest, like I don't think it's like in God's eyes. I could be totally wrong again. I could be totally wrong, but like the way I think, in the way I've raised, and just from all my experiences and like thoughts, like even today, I don't think like it's a good thing to be like. I don't think in God's eyes it's a good thing to be gay. I could be totally wrong about that. Again, like I might be wrong, and I'm like, you guys know me. I'm pretty open minded now. I used to be hella close minded, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty open minded now. Like I'm not gonna just say some shit and then like be like, oh no, I'm for sure right. Like no, like nobody know nothing
Yeah,
about
that's what I'm
God
saying,
really.
like,
We're
that's
just.
why I don't
just
speak
real
about
life,
it.
yeah.
I don't. If I don't know about it, I don't speak about
But
it.
that's the podcast, man. That's what that.
Yeah.
That's like I'm speaking about it because I don't know about it.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's the only thing.
But
Is
it's
like, everything's a gray area nowadays.
Yeah.
There's
But
like
that's
you can
what's
say
entertaining.
anything and it can be right, but it's also wrong.
That's why, like,
Yeah,
when I mean I don't
everything
speak
is
about it, I don't say it to like people that like I know I might offend by
Yeah.
speaking about it. Like I can speak to y'all about it all day because I know like y'all think like me or y'all are not gonna trip if I say something that's like
Yeah.
opposing to what your thought
Yeah.
is. Like,
Yeah.
but some other people are not as open minded like that and they just start
Yeah.
tripping on you and try to cancel you and all that.
That's
shit.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I could be totally wrong. That's just what I genuinely think. And I'm not even like I dislike like certain types of people. Like everything's cool to me as long as you keep it in your space.
Bad.
So okay. Like, how do you feel about our generation moving forward? Do you think we're gonna help the word out a lot by the end of it, or do you think we're gonna set us back?
I think we're gonna do a little bit of both. I think we're gonna advance technology. Technology wise, like I think we're gonna keep advancing like we have been, but I think that's also gonna lead to more like nature destruction because of the resources.
I think
Really?
I think you're right, but they're going away from like nature though. That's the like that's it like
I think like
They're going more online
Okay,
and
they
shit.
might not use more resources, but I think like the shit that they're implementing could hurt nature too.
I think I kind of like I agree kind of what you're saying, but I also disagree because I agree because it's like I do think you're right. Like to build whatever they will fuck want to do, it's gonna take a lot of resources.
Yeah.
But I think in the long run, it's gonna be like
You think they'll
compared to like our ancestors and shit, and like our parents and grandparents, we're gonna do better than they did. But I just hope that our kids, like we teach our kids to do better than we did. So eventually, like it'll work itself out.
You think
Yeah.
like there'll just be a more efficient way of doing things?
I think there
that's what we
always
keep
is.
looking for.
Yeah.
Like you know the saying, like there's always a bigger fish. Like same thing can be applied. There's always something that can be better, can be more efficient.
Mhm.
No,
You
I
know?
think that humans do it for efficiency a lot in things.
That's what
Yeah.
I think we are because like you know we're gonna start going green with the cars in California.
Yeah.
People are starting to get into like the Zen and we're all starting to like.
We're
I
trying
feel
to
like
be.
people are trying to get more spiritual. Like
Yeah.
you,
Be
you
more
understand
aware.
auras and like
But
vibes in this. You know like it feels like people we're trying to get with nature, but maybe we're not doing it like the
We're not doing
correct
it
Bro, I
way.
feel like it's
We're
part of the.
definitely not.
It's because it's part of the internet. Because that's like you see like Soul Illuminati. He be trying to like be hella woke and shit, and then like you got hella of his fans like now talk about Soul Illuminati and like wokeness and shit. It takes shit like that. It builds
It's just
up
fake.
over time because then different YouTubers will start talking like
Yeah.
Italy Choppa. He's doing that shit too.
yeah. No, I
It's like,
can't.
now more people know about it.
I can't speak of like all these people are being fake, but for sure a majority of them are being fake, and I think that's really bad. Like same thing like when you fake your happiness, you put a smile on everywhere you go. If you're depressed or some shit, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing to fake like somebody. Like if I don't fuck with you,
Yeah.
like unless it's like some reason like I'm just trying to be nice or like it's or it's like I'm at work or something.
Yeah.
You know, something like where I'm kind of obligated to. If I don't fuck with you, I'm just not gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna keep my
Oh,
distance.
yeah, I'm not gonna be around you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and be like, I don't fuck with you this, I don't fuck with you that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna, no, I'm just gonna stay away because
But
that shit's weird when people be like hating like that. It's like if you
Yeah.
don't mess with me, just stay away from me. Don't talk to me. You
Yeah.
don't cross paths ever. But people are just so like, I don't know, caught up in their own egos and
yeah.
shit.
No,
Mhm.
let me tell you, y'all know Reuven, bro.
Yeah.
The not
I think
Vadim's
so.
brother, the other one,
Yeah.
like the bigger one,
Oh yeah.
bro. Like so he's on our like league team, right? And like the thing is, I actually like he's all right. Like you know, like there's nothing wrong with him. Like I don't like dislike him. I don't hate him. But like we just like got into an argument in the group chat, and he's just like on some really weird ass shit. Cause he's like I don't know if this is him as a person or if he's just like this like been like this for like a little bit. But like he's being like hella fucking negative. And like you know in a team environment where I'm trying to like build our team up and shit, like trying to like make us be good, the best version of ourselves we can be, and win this like season because last season we fucking sucked. But like trying to win this and like everybody like trying to support everybody, and he's just like kind of tearing people down a little bit, and it's just like I don't like fuck with it to that extent. And it's like, and I said it in the group chat. I was like you're being mad fucking negative, and I just don't fuck with that. And then he's like on some sarcastic shit. He's just like, oh sorry, you're always right. But it's not about being right or wrong. It's just he's like hella negative, and like everything he says is like either aggressive or negative, and like there's no need for that shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know. And like one other time he did this shit, so I was making like lineups just like for like kind of like for fun because I was like doing nothing, and also because like you know it could help us. So I'm making lineups, like best defensive, best offensive, blah blah blah. So in I think I was in like 5 or 6 of the out of 10 lineups. I think I was in 6 of them, and then Jason, y'all know Jason, right?
Yeah.
He was in 7 of them, and Reuven and Jason like. The two of them are like closest to each other in the group. Like Alex is there too, but like them two is I think a little bit closer. And he was dick riding Jason like crazy. Like let me tell you, when he seen that lineup, he was like you're riding your own dick like crazy. First off, I'm like I don't even know how you could ride your own dick. To me, that's just like you're just confident in your ability.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I could have been in more of those lineups. I'm not even lying. I was trying to be fucking nice and
Riding
shit.
your own dick, bro. He just made some stupid.
That's
shit
what I'm
like
saying.
that with,
And then
I'm not gonna
he proceeds to ride Jason dick like crazy. And Jason's cool. I fuck with Jason. He actually got engaged if y'all didn't hear, which is crazy. Bro, he got engaged the other night. And
No
like
way.
big ass congrats to him. He's crazy. I remember I was talking to him about that shit not long ago, but I didn't like. He's like, yeah, I could see myself getting married soon. I'm like, I'm just thinking he's just saying stuff, but no, he was for real. But yeah, it's crazy.
Could have contained it.
For real. No, he's a good god ass, holy ass dude.
He
Though.
is. I
But-
remember when he was driving me and Nerden back home one time from Lord's Gym, bro, and he was playing like Christian rap.
Heck yeah, bro. Like he said a prayer at our first game that he was at. Well, he was at the second game. He was not at the first one. He said a prayer, and I ain't gonna lie, that helped us too, and everything, bro. But no, it was hella positive energy. I hella fuck with him. But he's like Jason's way better than you. I don't know why you put yourself in so many lineups. And I'm just like, at first I didn't even realize I put Jason in more. But then I looked at it, I'm like, bro, Jason is in 7 of them. I'm in 6 of these lineups. What you said doesn't even make sense why you're complaining about that shit. And then you're dick riding, which you said I was doing to myself, which doesn't make sense. And then on top of all that, you just become defensive. And then finally, like 2-3 other people fucking jump in, like, all right, you're tripping, Ruben, like, you're on some weird shit. And then he's like, oh, okay, I apologize. I see I was being a little aggressive and shit. Like, no, you weren't just being aggressive, like, you was being weird.
But I would just, next time he does that shit, just leave him on red. I wouldn't even say it.
But like, that's what I did. That's why I had to do eventually, because he's just on some weird ass
That's the
shit,
best way
bro.
to deal with that shit, bro. Because then
Yeah.
they'll just see that you left him on Reddit, just wonder why.
That's what I'm saying.
So clearly, you guys believe in toxic negativity, but do you guys think there's such a thing as toxic positivity?
Like too much, be like, yeah, being a yes
like
man.
it's like it's too good, like it's too like happy, it's too.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
a yes man.
Yeah, of
like
course.
saying yes everything your homie does, but it's really like in the end you know it won't be good for him.
Yeah.
That type shit.
Mhm.
Bro, that's like what the Truman Show, like the movie, is all about.
Bro, that movie's crazy.
Joe, y'all seen it, right?
I
Y'all seen
didn't
it?
watch
Yeah.
it, but like I watched the summary of the movie.
Gotcha. Yeah, like on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll be watching those sometimes. Those are hella entertaining.
Oh my God.
But like, yeah, that's what that whole movie is about. It's just he lives like the perfectly normal life, like perfectly solid life.
And then he starts to
It's
wake
just-
up.
Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
just that's not what he wants, you know. That's not really what anybody wants.
Right,
So okay.
But yeah, what was
yeah. I
like
feel
your
like you
original
do
question?
need negativity with like, cause like
To a
it's-
certain
yeah,
extent.
if things are going so right, you're gonna start getting complacent.
Yeah.
And eventually something's gonna go wrong when you get complacent.
Mm-hmm. Like there's like a resentment builds up,
Yeah.
like between like the group.
Yup.
It's like something's bound to happen.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about like Manjot.
And that's why I feel
Because-
like you gotta stay on your toes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. But that's how I feel about Manjot, cause like you know, like we used to get on him a lot, and we still do, but not like as much. But we used to get on him about like how he played and shit, cause it was just bad, and it still is that. It still is
Ball hog.
bad. Like it's worse than that though. Like he doesn't know how to pass, and when he does like see a pass that he knows he can make, he just kind of refuses to make it. Like it's more than that. Like,
'Cause
and then he takes bad shots, and then he
thinks
doesn't
he's a
play.
shooter.
He can shoot, but it's just like he's not as good as he thinks
I was
he
gonna say, he
is.
thinks he's the shooter. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And he doesn't play defense, which is maybe the worst part of it all. Now he's like got a little bit better at everything. Not too much, but like enough to where like it calmed down. And like sometimes I would go too far. Like, you know, I would say like too much negative shit. Like so most of my shit was credible, but a lot of it, not a lot of it, but some of it I was like just like I continue for no reason. I was like all right, I need to like stop. But like I agree with y'all, like, cause he's so egotistical, like kinda.
Yeah.
Like he has his ego like he has such an ego that I had to bring it down that much. But I would got to a point where I was bringing it down a little too much.
I feel like it's good to have an ego like that when you really are that good. I feel like you gotta get
Yeah.
that good before you can build your ego.
Yeah.
Like that. Because I feel like having an ego like that, it's like
You're skipping
I
a
feel
few
like it
steps.
is like your confidence. Like your ego is your confidence. I feel like.
It is. It's when confidence goes bad and sour.
Yeah.
But how do you balance that out though?
It's like I feel
Well,
like
I
you
feel
gotta.
like-
I feel like
how
you
do you
gotta.
find the
You gotta
balance?
build up your skill first. I feel like you gotta know that you actually like can do that shit. Like that shit's for real.
Bro,
You
I don't
gotta really like put yourself to the test.
I don't think that shit's as hard as it, like people make it out to be. Excuse me, if I'm being honest. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's easy to be humble, but like to not be egotistical is not hard though. Like
yeah.
people just like they're just
you gotta
assholes
have
and
to
shit.
try to have a humbleness too.
Yeah.
Because there is such a thing as being too humble.
There is for sure,
Where it's
but
like you start losing your meals because you're willing to give way more than you're willing to get.
but then like you gotta think like
yeah.
that like yeah that's true, that can be a negative, but in my head just as much as that is a bad thing for you, it's also a good thing for you because I like I believe in God, so I think he like sees that as like oh like you're willing to take less for him even if he doesn't deserve it type shit. Like I think that's like good karma, if that makes sense, because that's sometimes I can be like that, sometimes I'm not like that.
If I don't feel like I'm being played, or if I don't feel
Yeah.
like I'm being, you know what I'm saying, somebody's trying to pull one over me, then I don't have a problem with it. It's
Yeah.
like, as soon as I feel like somebody's trying to play me or trying to finesse me into something, then it's like I'm already shutting that shit down right there.
No, what about you? What would you say? How to balance that?
I'm just asking the questions. I'm trying to find out myself. It's just, I don't know. It's like, for me, I always go, I'm gonna get way too high or I'm way too low. I'm either
I
get
feel
way
it.
too like big headed or I'm just completely just destroyed,
Yeah.
and I'm just willing to give up anything. But it's
I'm the same.
just I'm not even sure myself yet. That's why I'm still just looking for the answers.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think there is this like, you definitely got to put in the work to know you have the confidence
Yeah.
to do what you can do, but you gotta have a humbleness
About it.
because you know what you can do.
Yeah.
And you gotta try to help others.
Yeah. Bro, if it's
Yeah.
like to go back to the first topic a little bit, so like we went to Sunsplash with me, DJ, and my girl, right? His brother was there too a little bit, but like toward when we were about to leave, they were talking a little bit, and like basically she got cast in a play, and it was like the play was about like the murder of this gay guy for a hate crime, and we like talked at the table a little bit about it, like kind of like debating, like kind of like a podcast, and she also wants to be on it sometime, but she but yeah, she was talking, and like we kind of because she's like more on the side of like, I wouldn't say like she thinks like being gay is necessarily good, but like like she's more like accepting than like I don't think I'm not accepting, but she's more accepting.
I think girls
She's
are way
more
more
progressive
accepting.
than-
Progressive, yeah, exactly.
Conservative.
That's
Yup.
like that's a female trait. I feel like.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, and we still found common ground because it's like I'm saying like you don't like how we were talking about it earlier, like that doesn't have to be your whole identity, being gay or trans or whatever,
Yeah.
or anything like
But
that.
it's like the only thing you talk about.
Exactly.
It's like, there's kind of a problem with that because it's like, I play video games, but that's not the only thing I fucking talk about all day is video
You
games, bruh.
You could even say that's a little egotistical.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we found common ground in that, like that's still a horrible hate crime, and nobody should ever like do that to another person because they like beat him and killed
Just
him.
because there's
Yeah,
certain
just
way.
because
Yeah,
there's
no, that
certain
shit's
way.
fucked up.
But just because that like bad things happen to certain types of people, because of that thing, doesn't mean that I agree that with that thing. I agree that what happened to them is horrible and should never
Yeah.
happen, and if like I could like, if I'm in a situation one day where I could stop that, I would stop that.
Heck, it's humans. Just
Yeah.
shouldn't treat each other like that.
Human life is very valuable.
Yeah.
It's invaluable.
I don't think people be realizing that shit sometimes.
It really is, because it's just like we say 8 billion people is a lot, but if I'm being honest, like you gotta think about history, how many people like existed,
Yeah.
and like who could have existed, like if you want to talk about abortion at all.
That shit's another topic.
Yeah, but like it's like the thing is like yeah. So my point is like you could easily find common ground if I'm like, because I'm open-minded enough and she's open-minded enough to where we could find common ground about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
To
not
where-
gonna be a problem.
Exactly, So it's like there's so many people like that where it's okay. It's not getting too bad, but it's still like slowly getting worse than it was like 50, 100 years ago.
You
Now-
think that it's getting worse to have a conversation with someone about it?
No, I think it's like the whole like being too accepting is getting worse. But the
Okay.
people who like can have conversations and can find common ground are like slowing it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I
just,
mean?
like, people are trying to allow more and more.
Yeah. Which I mean in certain situations makes sense. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it's just certain things are
It's
not
like they're kind of doing
yeah.
it blindly
Exactly.
just because it falls under that category, but they support that category.
Exactly.
Well, where do we say that enough is enough? Before we turn into like Grand Theft Auto, where everything's legal, you can do whatever you want, however
Transmitter.
you want.
But no, I think we stopped before transgender, to be honest, because I think that was too far. Obviously, like I don't dislike anybody who's transgender. Like live your life.
It's just
Do
something
you?
really
But
different.
I
and,
think that's
like,
where we should have stopped.
It's very.
But that's just
foreign.
What about you guys? Like
I mean,
where should we
I
stop?
think whether you like it or not, it will continue to go on.
No, yeah.
This is just the
Yeah,
thing with our
100%.
generation. Our parents, they dealt with gayness.
Yeah.
Before that, they dealt
Yeah,
with
like-
race with each other,
Yeah.
and it's
Cold
just
War,
gonna go on. Yeah.
industrialization. Like there's like something for each generation that causes problems for later
Yeah.
generations.
It's like we slowly build on it, but eventually, like I like to think that things gotta balance out. You know?
Yeah.
I hope
Or-
so.
I mean, I feel like if things were to get crazy, like we would be the first, like, to be the crazy ones. I feel like, and have
100%.
everybody else looking at us like, what the fuck?
That's
That
what-
shit could start
Bro.
a war.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I feel like we would cause like the United States would cause World War III more than anybody. I feel
Like I don't doubt it. I want to say more than anybody, but I don't doubt it.
like I feel like
if
we
did.
would piss off a lot of other countries.
Mhm. You know they made a gay bomb before?
But what?
A gay bomb
I think
in World
I
War
heard
II,
about that.
which is crazy as fuck.
I thought there was a gay gene.
That shit's hella like crazy
Yeah,
how they were doing
They thought it was like
experiments and
genetic, like that. Like when they first
Yeah.
found out like homosexuality, thought it was like a genetic thing,
shit. Yeah.
which is crazy.
They thought that shit was like in their DNA. They could take their blood out and there was like gay DNA. That's crazy.
That is wild.
Like let's talk about that. So you think sexuality is like? Do you think there's many gay people before, or do you think it's like? Do you think we're programmed?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of gay people before, but it wasn't like
Like
the
this
age of
many?
internet, where it was like the internet made it okay to be gay. Like back then, I don't think that shit was okay to be gay in majority eyes. So I feel like a lot of people are getting hated on if they did find out like somebody was gay or some shit. So I feel like a lot of people were in the closet a lot and would only fuck with other people who were also in the closet and
Yeah.
openly gay to each other.
They got their own like society.
Yeah, type shit.
Like, do you think the acceptance of just like different sexuality? Do you think that allows people to experiment more? Which is like,
Yeah.
do you
I
think
mean,
that
if
has
you want to
possibility open it?
experiment, if that's like you and you want to do that shit, go ahead. I'm not gonna say you're a bad person for experimenting. Now I'm gonna think like all right, like
You like what you like.
I'm not gonna experiment, but if you want to, like, go ahead, you know.
Mhm.
Now, like exactly, you like what you like. Now, I think I don't like kind of, but like I don't totally agree because like I could be wrong, you know, because I've heard gay people say both, where like it's a choice and also that they're born with it. So I think, my personal opinion, I definitely heard more gay people say it's in them rather than it's a choice.
I think it is kind of sometimes because I see a lot of like toddlers talk like really femininely.
But that to me that okay, so that's my whole thing. I don't think that means they're gay. That's just how a kid is.
You think so?
I think because like you gotta think everybody's individualistic, right? Everybody's different. The same way, the exact opposite way as how everybody's like there's so many people that are the same.
Yeah.
Like we're in one group, we're like, oh, we have this in common. People are also super individual in the same like way, kind of.
No, that's
Mhm.
because I remember when I was like little, one of my favorite colors was like my first favorite color was like purple. I told my dad that he was like, it's not purple no more. Yeah, that's what he told. He said that's just girl. That's for girls. I said okay.
Bro, purple is fire.
Came
That's
back like the
like
next
purple.
day.
My favorite color.
My favorite color was red the next day.
Damn, we went on the other side of the spectrum and shit.
Let me tell you, red's fire
like
too,
that.
though. That's my favorite.
No, red is really like I'm glad I like no offense to purple because purple is a dope ass color. Like if I was to get like
Purple's
a
fire too.
Dodge Charger, I would get that purple one because that shit looks clean.
Oh, that for sure looks better than
But
red.
red though, is like as an overall color, that shit's
Yeah.
fire.
Actually.
That shit is.
But yeah, going back to my point, so yeah, I've definitely heard both ways that gay people have said, but I've heard more of it, they were born like that. But to me, I think it's more of a choice. Again, I could be wrong, but I think it's a choice, cause it's like, to me, it just doesn't make sense that you're born with a different sexuality. Cause like now you could say it's because I believe in God, but even if like God didn't make us, if it was the Big Bang or anything else, I still think that men, because we're obviously meant to procreate.
Yeah.
So men were meant to be with women, and women are meant to be with men.
mean,
Like
yeah, we're
literally,
reflected.
like nature wise and everything. Now you could say, oh, like same sex dogs have sex, blah blah blah, whatever animal. That's true, but we don't live by the by how dogs or alligators or koalas like live. Like we're smarter than them. We can do more than them. We've built everything in this world. You know, so that doesn't make any sense to me at all. But like again, there can be arguments. I've heard good arguments about it against it, where it's like, where they've said like, well, I just like that's just how it is. Like I didn't choose to be it, but that's how I am, and like I hear that because, like you can be right about that, but I think it's something else, and they're misinforming or they're misidentifying it for that.
You think it's like you think a certain event will make somebody turn gay?
Like a traumatic,
I believe
yeah,
it, yes.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what I feel with like transgenders.
Yeah.
It's like I think that could destroy like a man psychologically.
Yeah.
It's like if someone doesn't tell you and you go in thinking that's a woman and then you find out while like you haven't experienced a sexual relationship.
How did I not tell that she was a woman?
And I feel like it can make you think, it can confuse you, it can make you just you start just like you don't know.
Bro, explain what you were saying about Speed that one time.
So yeah, if you don't know Speed the YouTuber,
oh yeah, I know what you're about to do.
he ended up hooking up with a transgender.
Yeah, I seen that.
They set him up on a blind date, and
Which is fucked up to begin with. Like your own friend's gonna do that to you without, because that's it. That's back to the situation where I don't mean to cut you off. That's back to the situation where I said I think it's fucked up if transgender person doesn't tell you they're transgender before you hook up.
Mm-hmm.
That it's the same situation right there.
Yeah.
And that those are your friends. That's crazy to me.
It's the little white little Asian.
Yeah, I
Ava.
think so.
Yeah.
She's actually from Sacramento.
I think I heard about that. I think
Yeah.
You know what she used to go, she was on DB's live. She used to go on different people's live and act like a girl at first.
Yeah,
And she would
I
talk-
think that's where they found her.
Bro, there's hella clips of her talking to like local Sacramento rappers at first, and then they're like, "What the fuck?" And then as soon as like she does the little thing where she's
Man
like,
voice.
"What's up?" and then they go,
Yeah.
"Oh," and then they turn on the live and all that shit. Like that shit used to be hella funny, but I
That's
think
crazy.
it's fucked up how they didn't like that. Aiden was hella fucked up for that.
For sure.
So yeah, like let me go on with the story. Like, so they did, and he knew. He ended up knowing
Yeah.
like she was transgender, but they spent more time together, and he was attracted to her
Mhm.
because it does at times nowadays it can't look like a real woman.
No,
It
that
can-
at first she got me. I thought she was a girl too.
And it's more than that. He was mentally attracted to her and emotionally.
that's just he was just attracted to her in general,
That's
which I think
fucked
could
up.
happen to all of us. I think we could all fall vulnerable to that.
Yeah, because if you don't know, you don't know. You think something like your
Mhm.
mind's like the trick's already in play.
Yep.
And then it just
That's why
The more time you
internet
spend,
is
the more
fucked
you
up,
like,
bro.
like,
You gotta
yeah.
go. Like that's why I don't know. I don't fuck with like that whole Instagram shit like that, bro. It's like I want to go talk to so and so in person, bro.
yeah.
It's like I can.
It's
I can
always
tell.
better
Yeah.
because like the internet's just you can just lie too much.
Exactly.
You don't know. You
Can't
can't.
be
You
capping
can't truly
all
trust
the
anything.
time.
Yep.
You know, it's like in real life, it's like you get to see who someone is. You really know what they do, how they live.
Exactly. Instead of putting on a front for this picture or
Yeah.
doing just this one time for this video, it's like, bro, that's not really what you be doing
Mhm.
though. It's like, come on.
Because partially the internet is like, it was built to bring us together, but just as much as it can bring us together, it can pull us apart.
Yep.
Because you could have the algorithm set up to see what you want to see.
Yeah, because you can succeed with the internet. The internet is probably the best tool for
Yep.
Yeah.
somebody who
Yep.
doesn't have a cause they can go to. Like,
Mhm.
like the internet is the best tool for you.
It has
to
everything.
Succeed, but it's also like it can destroy you if you get too
Yeah.
lost into it. Because there's certain places you don't want to
It
be.
goes far.
Exactly.
That's how I think like the Trump, how we got so divided.
Yeah.
Is some people see like on Facebook mostly is it's all built, it's all pro Republican, conservative. You know, you only see the bad side of like Democrats and like progressiveness. You know, so it like you fall just victim into it.
Yeah.
To where like this is all you see, this is all you believe. Everything's about perspective. You know.
It's like it's not like you're misled, but it's like you're only showing one thing. You don't
But
see
yeah,
all
you only
sides
see one
of it.
side.
And
Yeah.
that's fucked up because that's how literally everybody's grown. Same way I was grown in like Christian household, like being
Because
gay
usually
is
you are
bad
what
and
your
shit.
parents are.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
usually where it came
Yes.
from.
Bro, and I feel so fucking blessed that like I can think for myself, like
Yeah,
for real, like that I like
yeah.
go out and like still I won't like tell my parents I do this or that, or like I think about this or that. Sometimes the think one I actually do like sometimes tell them some shit, but I still like usually I won't. But it's just like I'm glad that I can like think freely without like thinking that I have to be the same.
God.
But like most people don't have that luxury, and I don't exactly know why they don't. But I just know that they don't. You know, that's whatever's going on in your mental or how you grew up. But to me, I was just able to, luckily.
So I thought of this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way in the future that eventually the cameras, the lights, everything will catch up to everyone, where everyone will stop trying to be fake, but everyone will just be
Ooh.
themselves on the internet?
Like basically
That's a
everybody's just, like,
good-ass
sick of
question.
The internet.
Where it's just like you're just gonna
You're just
eventually
you.
see back. Why am I gonna fake this? You
That's
fake
why-
everything.
bro,
It's like
that's
you're
like-
fake.
That's what I'm already on right now.
That's
like,
I,
I'm
like that's how I
yeah,
am. But
that's-
it's like, will society? Will we? Can
Yeah.
that happen?
But I think
Is
like
there a chance?
like no like cocky shit, but I think like people like us who are already on that shit will influence.
That's
that.
That's what I'm like.
Yeah,
Do you
probably.
think we are headed that way?
Yeah, I feel like we can make it that way.
But how? How do we get there?
You just
Do you
gotta.
think it's just
I feel
naturally
like we just
happening?
gotta progress through our own journeys. Like if we're truly like set on that, like fuck this internet shit, like that shit's
Mhm.
fake and all that, bro. Then if you just keep that in mind, and that's on the path you're on. You're gonna get to the end if you stick to that path.
That's true. But I think everybody ends up being on that like, oh, why did I even do that?
Yeah.
Like eventually,
I
you
used to
know,
feel like
some
that
people
shit all
sooner
the
or
time
later.
in high school. I used
Yeah.
to feel like that, bro. That shit's like.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like the internet fucked with your head. a
Yeah,
lot.
100%. Like bro, like the internet is fucking everything, but it's
Yeah.
also everything evil.
Because we make it
It's-
everything.
Bro, because you gotta think, the internet is like a free roam access. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a
it
world
is.
on.
It's a sandbox. You can go
Exactly.
and search whatever the fuck you want.
Bro, it's a world inside of like a microchip, bro.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like metaphorically and shit. So you gotta think, people are fucking evil. So why would even though it was meant to be good and like it can be good, why do you think it's turned so evil and negative and hateful and you know more than that?
Because there's just
Because people can do
naturally-
whatever they want.
Yeah, there's naturally negative and evil people like that. So those
Yep.
are,
And
they can
they-
also affect the internet.
They outnumber the good people by heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Heavily.
Because people try to say
Heavily.
they're good, but
And like, you know, like some people actually think that shit. Like I think I'm a good person, but if I'm being
Yeah.
honest, like I'll be an asshole sometimes for no
Yeah,
reason
oh
and shit,
God.
you know? But like it's just like it's hard to
because
pinpoint.
nobody's perfect though.
Yeah.
It's like we all gonna do some bad shit in our life. Nobody just like you can't say I don't know anybody who hasn't done some like fucked
Yeah.
up shit.
Everybody got their mistakes.
Yeah.
But that's like the only people that could really say you're a good or bad person is other people. But then even
Exactly.
that is just like whose opinion do you care about the most? Because some people could just be on some bullshit and just not fuck with you and say you're a bad person, you know?
Yeah.
So okay, we can all agree that most people on the internet wear a mask.
Yeah. For sure.
I want to know, do you think the older generation of us, they all wore masks, but they just wore it completely out? Because you know how
I
they
think-
say that our generation, they think we're like a lot softer.
Yeah.
They think men aren't really men, women aren't really women.
Yeah.
But do you think they thought the same ways? It was just they wore that mask the whole time to just not accept it?
I
Or
think
do you
that
think this is who they were?
I think that so I don't know if I'm totally understanding your question, but I think that like for example how like men were more traditional and women were more traditional like 50 100 years ago, right? I think that was the mask at that time. Like, oh, you're supposed to do this because you're a man, or you're supposed to do this because you're a woman. And like I do think like naturally like made by God like men are supposed to do certain things and women are supposed to do certain things based on our physical, mental, and emotional attributes. Like naturally that every man and every woman has, you know, like separately between the two. I think it is true a little bit, but I think they went too far with it and they're just like like it's feminine to even cook or clean. Like
Mhm.
it's really not at all.
I love
You know?
cooking.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like I wish I like cooking because like cooking's hella fucking cool.
Mhm.
Because it's like art to me, but it's just not art that I'm really like interested in doing. I'm just interested in consuming that shit.
Bro, I like.
But
I
think
found
it's
out I
that.
like cooking because like when I get really high, bro, there's nothing to eat in the house.
Yeah,
you gotta,
that's true.
You gotta play Minecraft, bro, and get some craft and some shit, bro.
Hey,
You gotta start pulling out shit you never even pulled out before.
I might have to do that shit. But yeah, I think that was like their mascot at the time, and even before that, like in like for example, like in Greece in like the age where like it was all hella philosophy and shit, like where they wore the robes, like you know the what Greece like everybody imagines Greece as. At that time and shit, I feel like the mask was like you're supposed to be hella smart, like oh everybody's hella smart, this and that. At the
Just like
place and time,
hella
yeah.
good in general.
Just the exact same way the Spartans or the Trojans were supposed to be like hella like manly and
yeah.
soldiers and shit. They were supposed to all be hella intellectual in Greece at a similar time. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just every society and group of people and like there's multiple layers of masks. Like men and women each have masks. Then like everybody has masks. Then this group of men and this group of women, this group of them and them. It just goes on.
Do you think that we all had a mask, but do you think all the masks just they were thicker earlier in times? Like let me break this down. So I've been saying the past couple weeks that life has gotten way more complex as time's gone on.
Yeah.
Meaning that before there was man, what he did, he would provide, he hunted, and he just worked all day. He
Yeah.
built, you know. Women,
Yeah.
all you did, you gave birth, you were beauty, you picked, and then we just we progressed over time to where it was just like now you think about like there's more to a man, there's more to a woman.
Yeah,
Now there's men doing women things, women doing men things. Like do you think those original people, like do you think they always do they think they always thought like us? Do you think they always had the same like things what we thought of? Or they were just wearing a thicker mask the entire time?
I guess
Or do you
like
think life is getting more complex?
I
There's
think
more thought to it.
I think life is getting more complex, but at
Yeah.
the same time, actually, I wouldn't say their masks are any thicker, but like they're. But I guess in terms of what you're trying to say, I think I would say I guess it was thicker, like it was more thicker in the sense that they had to be more like this, more manly or more womanly, instead of like just being whatever you want to be, you know, doing whatever you want to do. So I like about that, yeah. What about you though? Like I need some answers from you. You give hella questions.
Yeah, I feel like it is getting more complex.
Yeah.
I feel like we're starting to get away from just religion. I feel like it kept us to like you're supposed to work like 20 hours a day. You're supposed to just build this house.
Yeah.
Sunday you
A lot
don't
of
do
people
anything.
are starting to say fuck that.
Like
Yeah.
I think it is just becoming more complex as it goes on. But is this the right way?
Well, I think that's like I think there's so many different ways. It's like you're not gonna know which way is the right way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like no
You gotta
matter
take your own path.
no matter what you answer, no answer is right. You could only find an answer that's right for you. To be honest, like the closer you get to everybody is like your family.
Yeah, you're never gonna be able to take the same route that somebody took. I feel like.
No, never the exact same route. Absolutely not. Because you gotta think like if somebody lived like the same life as you, like not only do they have to have looked like you, but they have to have had the exact same experiences as you,
Exactly.
which is crazy to think. That's even
Like trying to
possible.
take somebody else's route, that's gonna fuck you up,
Yup.
and it's gonna discourage you from what you're trying to do. Actually.
Bro, that's what I've been saying. Like being individualistic, how everybody's different, bro. I think that's a blessing and a curse. It's a
Yeah.
fucking blessing because like I could be whoever the fuck I want, and you could be whoever you want. And, like life's happy because of that. But at the same time, life's sad because you're so different that you hate me for this reason, or I hate you for that reason, or you don't understand why I'm this way, or I don't understand why you're that way. Like as good as it is, it's bad too.
Yeah,
Like,
especially
I
when
just,
it's, like
like,
people start doing
yeah.
groups and shit, and it's like, yo, you can't come to this group because you do that or whatever. It's like I hate shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's really annoying.
That's what I'm saying. Just like, and then cause like humans are naturally like they feel emotions like, not emotions, feelings like loneliness, sadness, happy, like for whatever the reason is. But I feel like one of the strongest ones, and like I don't think it should be. I think loneliness, like you should be able to like never be lonely just because like you're your own company. I feel like everybody should be like that.
Yeah.
It's not easy though. It's not easy to be like that. But I feel like everybody should be. But yeah, one of the biggest things is like how everybody like feels some kind of loneliness in their life, whether it's like, oh, I want a kid, I don't have a kid, I don't have a wife, I don't have this or that, to fulfill me type shit. I think like because of that, people naturally like they get magnetized to other people that are saying similar things to them. So then that's where like political parties come in, like all this kind of stuff, where these like different groups of people. And, like it's just not right, really. Because we're so individualistic, but then we still like come together and hate or love on other people. It's just not right.
I'm gonna say this is probably like the last topic right here. Last
Man,
question.
hey, yeah.
What would you guys tell the future generations?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Be yourself. I know that shit's like worn out like a book, but that's just for real. Take your own path.
What would you say?
I would say something like that too. Just live for yourself. I would say rather than picking a side, just try to understand both sides. Just understand like I think life really is what you think of it. If you see bad stuff and you just think life is bad, that's all you'll ever pick out. That's all you ever notice. If you see it's good, then you'll notice all the good things in life.
Yeah.
I think it's just everything comes back to balance. You're gonna have shitty days. You're gonna have some great days. But it's all a part of life. And I would say just don't take it too serious. Just some things happen.
Yeah. Oh, bro, yeah. Another thing, like, kind of like how we just said, like people like they hate other people, but then other people that hate that same people will come together to hate them like together. Like, don't connect with people to disconnect with more people. Like, I feel like we should just connect. That's it. Like a big ass like spider web. Just everybody be connected. Yup. Understand each other. Like, bro, like literally, like, bro, like the shit Eric be having in his house, that live, laugh, love, bro.
Bro, that's my mom. Bro.
Fuck yeah, bro.
That's the motto. That's the motto
That,
around here.
bro, that is a motto around here, bro. It really is. But yeah, bro, just like you know how the Native Americans like made sure the land was well for like the next 7 generations and shit, bro. Don't just think about yourself, think about others, and think about not just others right now, but others in the future.
Yeah.
But like just be good to everybody you know. That's really what it's about, man. It's just connecting. It really is.
Alright. I think that probably sets it up for today, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
That's good.
Alright, we got episode 2 done. Hope everybody liked the podcast. We'll try to catch up again.
Yes, sir.
We're out.
We're out.
Peace.
Peace.